What if being unapologetically me is exactly what sets someone else free? This is Unapologetically Yours, and I'm chiming in on ColdplayGate. Last night, my husband Jacob and I were driving home when he asked if I saw the CEO statement that was released after the Kiss Cam incident, specifically, if I'd read the third paragraph. I knew exactly what he was referring to, the part where a seeming apology turned into victimhood, erasing any regret previously expressed. It read, quote, I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. End quote. We were rightly outraged by this bait and switch apology, which starts off as a personal action plan to take accountability, but quickly shifts to blame others for getting caught. But let's go back to the beginning. The CEO of Astronomer and his HR exec, Kristen Cabot, were wrapped in what I call a standing spoon. They're all smiles. In an intimate embrace, his arms around her, swaying and enjoying the moment. Until the kiss cam puts them on the screen in full view of the 55,000 audience members they're with. Kiss cams are notorious for finding and pairing people, strangers and loved ones, in the hopes that the two will kiss, often sparking joy and cheers in the crowd. Cheers did erupt, but this time for a different reason. In this very public arena, their moment is captured live, and when the woman sees herself on screen, the shock hits. She covers her face, turns away, and the man drops, hides, completely disappears out of the frame. They go from comfort to panic, from being caught up in the moment to utter mortification. As a result, Coldplay band member says either they're having an affair or they're really shy. The former was the truth. He was right. The crowd explodes into cheers, into screams. Soon afterwards, the internet took over. And let me tell you, the internet is savage. People online were quick, not only to provide commentary, but also memes galore, and they're still pouring in. But what I want to point out is sometimes the internet, its sleuths, its authors, its contributors are wrong. Let's break this down. First, CEO of Astronomer Andy Bryan was named as the male figure in the viral video. It was said that the other two women in the frame also worked for the company, that the woman in his embrace was an exec, while the woman beside the couple was an HR rep at the same firm. This suggested that the third person was privy to their affair as a coworker and complicit, all while smiling along with the female cohort beside her, the one with her back to the camera. Then, a statement was issued by Andy Bryan offering apology and defense. Two things of note were revealed by the company in their official statement. It said only 2 employees were present at the event, so the third person does not work for Astronomer. She's just a bystander of the event, seen now by millions of people with her hand shielding the side of her face. They also indicated the public statement, which appeared to be written by the CEO, one that has also garnered a lot of attention, was a fake. The apology, an apparent fabrication by one of those internet sleuths I mentioned earlier, went around the world and was even translated into other languages. Yes, the internet is quick and savage. Before we learned it was a fake, many of us were outraged, my husband and I included, at the lack of accountability present in the statement. First, he, pardon my air quotes, apologizes for what this indiscretion has done to his wife and family, but too quickly, he turns it into victimhood. We all caught the irony, I'm sure, that something done in such a large public space is now suggested to be a private moment. You want privacy? You want secrecy? Be discreet. Trying to hide in plain sight? You failed. You don't want your life to blow up? Don't ignite it. You don't get to plan a date with your mistress to a Coldplay concert and duck behind a barricade when you've been caught in front of tens of thousands of people and call it an invasion. You don't get to pretend you have any right for anonymity. Privacy doesn't apply here. Now, all of that outrage you hear in my voice, Maybe it's not so much about the apology that wasn't even penned by this man. It's more about the actions of this guy. His public action that did, in fact, invite public scrutiny, public commentary, solicited or not. The truth, it has this funny way of always coming out. The truth always prevails. And on that note, I want to touch on another truth. We don't know the goings on of any of these people as far as their home life, the status or openness in their marriages, whether separation was involved or allowances made. Either way, harm and damage was done to those not caught on camera. A wife who had to shut down her social media accounts and the 2 children she bore to her husband. Their lives were blown up. Their truth was shattered. Promises broken. Their home, work life, school life, family life, potentially forever wrecked. My sympathies go out to those individuals, and my hope is for them to be compensated and redeemed, not just financially, but emotionally too. My hope is that they will receive support and healing and be able to live a life that continues to elevate them from this terrible moment in time. That's all I've got for now. Thanks for joining me as I chimed in on this trending topic. I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be present, to speak, to be heard, to heal, and maybe, just maybe, by doing so, I'm going to set someone else free. Until next time, unapologetically yours.